And I love meatloaf. So.
Try it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
I got it. First of all, he's right. That is amazing.
Cole is so excited he can't contain himself.
Oh my, man, that's good.
I don't know about you, but our family loves meatloaf. And we don't do the same meatloaf very often. We change it up all of the time. So today I'm gonna give you 5 different meatloaf recipes that I'm sure your family's gonna love too. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. The first meatloaf recipe I'm gonna share with you is the one that we have made for the longest time, and it was the initial meatloaf recipe that got my son absolutely addicted to meatloaf. He loves it, it's his favorite meal. It is Paula Deen's barbecue meatloaf. We've been making this one for 7, 8, 9 years, and it's one of our family favorites. It's 1.5 pounds of ground beef, a cup of breadcrumbs, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 egg beaten. In here, which does not look very appetizing, is 3 tablespoons of vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, and 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And then I've got 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce that will go in there, a little bit of salt and pepper, and some onion. I'm gonna mix all of that together, I'm gonna mix the egg, the onion, and the breadcrumbs all in here. And then I'm gonna make a sauce with the brown sugar, this, and the tomato sauce that will go over top of the meatloaf before it goes in the oven. I would like to thank MaryRuth for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I have been taking several supplements from MaryRuth for the last couple of months, and I have to say I am super impressed. It has become a seamless part of my morning routine, and I look forward to taking these supplements because they're so easy to take. I'll tell you a little more about that. MaryRuth makes high quality vegan, non-GMO supplements, and most of their products are certified organic. They have a full line of products. You can check them out on their website and on Amazon, but they have over 130 products. I have been looking for a good zinc supplement to take for months. I've tried other brand zinc gummies and just the zinc pills, and I have never had success. Either the pills were hard to swallow and were powdery and tasted awful, or the gummies tasted awful. And then I fell in love with MaryRuth's liquid zinc, and that's what makes MaryRuth's so unique, is their variety of liquid supplements that aids in an easier digestion. Some of the liquids are flavored, or you can get it like I did with this one, unflavored. I normally add it to juice in the morning, but I've also added it to my lemon water, and it doesn't change the flavor at all. The good thing about this one is it can be taken by the whole family, including infants. Another one of the supplements I've been taking for a couple of months are these probiotic gummies. These are USDA organic, and they are in a yummy strawberry flavor. I look forward to taking these. It does not taste like a vitamin or a supplement at all. They are shaped like little strawberries, and they get their natural color from organic black carrots. But if you aren't familiar, probiotic gummies are great to support gut health and to provide immune support. They also have a probiotic formula made for kids as well. One that I'm not going to talk about today, but I've been taking and I love, is the Women's 40 Plus multivitamin. It is a liquid. I keep it in the fridge, and it is a vanilla peach flavor. It is so good. And just a little bit about MaryRuth's. It was founded in 2014 by MaryRuth. She's a certified health educator, a nutrition consultant, culinary chef, and a mom to 4. And at the time, I believe they were all under 5 years old, including twins. Her father and her brother both passed away from heart conditions, and so she made it her personal mission to help people live a healthier lifestyle. So I really encourage you, go check out all of their products. Like I mentioned, there's over 100, I think 130 plus products that they offer. And I have some great news for you. My code, which is MRO Mandy20, is going to save you 20% on both MaryRuth's website and on Amazon. The trick is you need to make sure on Amazon it is not sold by some third-party seller. It needs to say that it's sold by MaryRuth's Organics. So you can check my description box below. I've got a link and I've got the code listed there too, and you can go check out all of their products and decide which ones are going to work best for you. Thank you again to MaryRuth for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Let's get back to some meatloaf. All right, so I've got the loaf in the loaf pan. You could just put it in just like a regular baking pan and just create it into a loaf. But the reason why I like putting it in here is so that I'm not constantly having to baste it with the juices that fall to the wayside, like fall all around the pan, if that makes sense. So the juices just kind of hang out on top. And this is my barbecue sauce concoction, homemade barbecue sauce. And I'm going to pour this over top of it, because the recipe tells you to baste it every few minutes. like every 15 minutes, and I don't have to do that, which I love. But I think it costs me a little more time. I think I have to end up baking this a little bit longer. I'm not sure why. I always have to go over the hour that she tells me to in the recipe. So now this is going into a 350-degree oven for a little over an hour. It's probably going to be like an hour and 15 minutes is what I'll end up doing. Okay, y'all, so I did the meatloaf for an hour and 15 minutes, and when it had about 30 minutes left, I put the corn casserole in there. Ended up not making any broccoli. I feel like this is plenty, so let's eat. For this next meatloaf recipe, we're gonna try something a little bit different. It's less traditional, and it is a Chipotle glazed meatloaf. This one is so delicious, and it's really hard to rank these as our favorites because we love all of these, obviously, but this one ranks really up there for me. So I've got my oven preheating to 350. I need to prep my ingredients. I've got most of it already sitting out, but I need to cut up a few things, so let's do that now. Okay, the first thing we're gonna be doing is sauteing some garlic and onions on the stove, so I wanna go ahead and get those chopped up. And you know what? I'm just gonna use my garlic press for this instead of sitting here and chopping it. So let's go on over to the stove. I've got a medium skillet here. I'm just going to heat it to medium-high heat. While I'm waiting on that to come up to temperature, I am going to chop up, I have a couple of Chipotle peppers in adobo sauce, so I'm gonna chop these up pretty fine. That's pretty gross. Okay, our pan is nice and hot. I'm gonna add in a tablespoon of butter. Now I'm gonna add in our onion. It called for 1 medium onion. I had half of a large onion left from last night's dinner, so that's what we used. And I'm just gonna saute these until they're translucent, and then I will mince the garlic directly in here and cook it for another minute. And then we'll just be setting this to the side to let it cool down. Okay, so I'm gonna add my garlic in here. Can all 3 of them fit in? They can. Okay, we're done with that. I'm gonna turn off the stove, set this to the side, let it cool, and let's go back over here. The recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of diced bread slices. I've got 2 slices here. I can go grab more if I need it. I've got my cup measure just in case. I don't want to get this wrong and cause my meatloaf to be too dry. Okay, so I didn't quite need the 2 slices. I probably could have gotten away with 1, but we have about 3/4 a cup of diced bread. Okay, so Steven is going to shred some pepper jack cheese. We only need 2/3 a cup, so we didn't get the big contraption out. He's gonna do that really quickly for me. In here, I am going to add a 1/4 a cup of milk. Gracie is very aware that there is cheese being shredded. This is pepper jack, baby. You don't want that. Okay, so that milk soaked into the bread really quickly, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what we wanted it to do. I'm gonna add in 2 pounds of ground beef. This is 80/20. Now I'm gonna add in my 2 Chipotle peppers that have been minced. I've got some spices here. I've got 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. We only need 2/3 a cup of this pepper jack cheese. And this is where you would add in the cilantro if you were adding cilantro, but since Cole is not a huge fan, I'm gonna leave that out. And lastly, I'm just gonna beat this egg and add it into the mixture as well. Okay, I'm gonna start mixing this up. Steven went to go grab my onions. Yep, you can just go ahead and put that in there, babe. Thank you. Okay, baby, I've mixed it as much as I can with a fork. You know what's about to happen. I've already taken off my rings. This is about to get serious. Ooh. Okay, we're about to put our meatloaf into the meatloaf pan. I did not know there was such a thing. So the recipe said to put it in a meatloaf pan, and I was like, it means a bread pan, right? That's what I've always used. Comment below and let me know, did you even know there was such thing as a meatloaf pan? You probably did. I'm probably the last human on earth to know about it, but I ordered one from Amazon, and it looks like a bread pan, but it has that nifty little feature. So the grease is going to go to the bottom of the pan, and then we can lift the meatloaf up out of it. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm gonna lightly spray. So now I'm going to make our sauce. I've got a 1/2 cup of ketchup, 2 to 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar. And to kick it up a notch, I've got these Chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. And I'm gonna grab some of the sauce from here without grabbing a pepper. There we go. There's some sauce. I'm just gonna keep grabbing as much as I can. It calls for a couple of tablespoons. I don't know if I'll be able to get that much out, but we'll try. Now I'm just gonna mix all of this together. And we're gonna put half of this sauce on top of the meatloaf. The other half that we're reserving is gonna be for when we serve our meatloaf. Okay, this is going in the oven at 350 for at least an hour, possibly up to an hour and a half. You just wanna make sure that the internal temperature reaches 150 to 155 degrees. I just took this out. It has been in for just an hour, and be careful when you're taking it out if you're using a meatloaf pan. These are not handles. These will lift it out of the pan. I just grabbed the handles and almost made a huge mess, but it's okay. Crisis averted. I checked the temperature. It is up to temperature. I'm gonna let it rest for a few minutes. The boys aren't here. They're gonna be back in just a little bit. So I'm gonna let this rest, cool down for just a minute. I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes really quickly, and then it'll be time to eat.
I'm excited about the Chipotle flavoring. Never had that in meatloaf before, so.
I know, I'm excited too, babe.
Yep. You get a lot of that good Chipotle flavor. Wow, that is really good.
Yeah?
Really smoky Chipotle, the tartness of the ketchup and everything in there. That's really good. Very good.
So do you like this one better than you like the barbecue meatloaf that I normally make?
Actually, yeah, I do. Just because lately I've been really into that Chipotle seasoning. It's really good. This is just really different. I mean, you don't eat a lot of things with Chipotle flavoring in it.
Yeah.
But we've been very intentional lately about putting that in there, but this is really good.
First of all, it is not dry at all. There is no dryness to this. Also, it is not spicy, but it's smoky. It might have a touch of spice, but I don't want you to shy away from it. If you don't like a lot of spice and you're scared to make this because of that, don't be. It's not spicy, it's more smoky. Little girl. So thank you, Michelle, for sending this in. Cole is not here right now. He'll be home a little bit later. So I'm gonna try and get him to try it when he gets home, and then I will let y'all know what he thought, but I have a feeling he's gonna love this one. Okay, he's home, people. And he was like, where's the meatloaf? He went and got it. He's eating it cold. This is what he does. He eats leftovers cold. But buddy, what did you say?
This is way better than the regular meatloaf that I've eaten in the past. This is...
So you like this one better than the barbecue meatloaf too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's got that smoky flavor to it.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, you have it.
One of the restaurants that I love, their meatloaf, is Cracker Barrel, and a subscriber sent in a recipe for a copycat Cracker Barrel meatloaf, and it was so good.
The recipe calls for 1 small onion diced. This is half of a medium-sized onion. We also need to finely dice a pepper. You can choose whatever color. Look, it's got a little baby growing inside of it.
That's cool.
Okay,
I like your shirt, babe.
thank you. Shred some cheese. We've got Colby Jack cheese. I need 4 ounces of it shredded. Gracie is over here begging, per the usual. You want to eat? Okay, I'm gonna be crushing up 1.5 sleeves of Ritz crackers. It's the fun part. Okay, I've got a large bowl. I'm gonna add 3 eggs. We're gonna add all of our crackers, our onion, and our bell pepper. And I don't think I mentioned it, you can use any color bell pepper you wanna use. We're gonna add in our 4 ounces of shredded cheese, 1/2 cup of milk, and some salt and pepper. I'm gonna try and avoid having to put my fingers in here quite yet. I'm just gonna mix all of this together really well. Okay, if you've been here before, you've seen this, but this is a meatloaf pan. I got it, I'm pretty sure I got it from Amazon. I'll link it below.
It is so neat because all of the fat drains in the bottom here, and then when you're done baking it, you just lift this out and you've got meatloaf. It's really great. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it. And my lovely husband has said that he'll do
I'm lovely.
he'll do the not so fun part, which is mixing with your hands. So
That's the fun part.
no,
Yeah.
no.
It's gonna be great.
All right, 2 pounds of ground beef going in. Have fun.
My hands are frozen. Oh, yeah.
Gracie, let's turn on some hot water for
My
Dad.
hands. That feels good.
Okay, he's gonna add some everything seasoning. He just wanted a little extra.
Maybe about a, I don't know, tablespoon or
Tablespoon,
something
yeah.
like that.
Okay, so now that he's done, he's gonna transfer it over here into this dish. Okay, this big old meatloaf is going in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes, and then we're going to take it out and put a topping on it and then bake it for another probably 40 minutes. Our meatloaf is about to come out. It's been baking for almost half the time now. So let's make our topping. I'm gonna add about a half a cup of ketchup, just about a teaspoon of mustard, and a couple of tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay, let's mix this up. Okay, let's get the meatloaf out of the oven. Be careful not to lift this with this. You wanna lift from the bottom of the pan, because otherwise you're gonna lift your meatloaf right out. Pour this on top. It smells so good. Okay, this is going back in the oven for another 30 to 40 minutes.
Meatloaf time.
Meatloaf. Now this is Subby Supper. Deniece sent this in.
Man, how
Nope, don't you say the word. Not dry.
not dry. Yeah, but it's more than just not dry. It is very,
Not dry. Don't say it. No.
man, it's really juicy.
There you go. Be careful.
Moist.
Cold.
Man, first of all, he's right. That is amazing.
I mean, you can't go wrong with meatloaf.
The texture.
You can go
of
wrong
this-
with meatloaf.
You can go wrong.
Yeah.
This ain't wrong. This is
with
right.
not with this meatloaf.
Okay.
At least.
I've had meatloaf that's dry before, and you don't want that. So this is not dry. This is delicious.
Yes. This is the perfect texture.
Awesome.
Perfect juiciness. That is tremendous. It's cooked to perfection. It's done. It's not dried out. It's, look at this, just cuts like butter.
Awesome.
And I love the bits of the peppers in there like that. That is really good.
Deniece, these guys have really talked this up, so I'm really hoping I love it too. I'm sure I will. Okay, this is fantastic. And if you've been here a while, we've tried several meatloafs on my channel. We've done the Paula Deen barbecue meatloaf. We've done a Chipotle meatloaf. We may have done another one, but what did you just say?
This is better than them. I mean, they're all good.
He just loves the texture of this
The
one.
texture of this is unlike any other meatloaf I've ever had. And the flavors, I mean, you get that little bit of the sweet, buttery flavor of the Ritz crackers. I mean, it's not overwhelming, but you
Right.
can tell that it's there.
Yeah. I
So-
can't tell that the cheese is in there, quite honestly.
No,
I didn't know until you told me.
I know. But y'all, this is really, really good. So
these last 2 meatloaf recipes I know are huge hits with us and with you guys. Our subscribers have let us know time and time again that these are their favorites. One of those is the mini barbecue bacon cheddar meatloaves. I think that's the name of it. But I love them because they're so small, so they bake in less time. And it's just, they're cute. We really love them. They're so delicious. You gotta give these a try.
now let's get started making the mini barbecue bacon cheddar meatloaves. Spoiler alert, they are delicious. Okay, I'm just gonna let these cool and then I will crumble these and I'll put them in a little container and put them in the fridge until I am ready to cook tonight. So the recipe calls for just regular cheddar cheese. We still have this half a block of Colby Jack cheese, so I'm just gonna use this. So I've got 2 pounds of ground beef. This is 85% lean. I'm gonna add in our 2 eggs, 6 ounces of chili sauce, so half of this bottle. Our bacon that I've cooked and crumbled up. 1.5 cups of cheese. It calls for sharp cheddar. This is Colby Jack. 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs. 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of the Dub sauce, Worcestershire. When I overthink it, I can't say it. 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard, a teaspoon of minced garlic, and 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt. Now we're gonna make 8 small loaves. Let's see how this goes. I gotta portion these out right. Now we need just about 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce. I'm just going to use what I have on hand. I'm going to pour a little bit on each one and then I'm going to brush it out. I've got my oven preheated to 425. We're going to put these in at 25 minutes and then after the timer goes off, I'm going to turn it over to broil for like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so the timer just went off. We're gonna switch it over to broil and I'm gonna set the timer again for about 3 minutes.
So I'm excited because this is the second time that we're having a meatloaf-like dish within about a week. And I love meatloaf. So
Try it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
I got it. All right, first of all, you gotta, if it's good meatloaf, it's gotta cut a certain way, right? Look at that. Oh man, it's like butter.
This.
Oh boy. It's so soft.
Cole is so excited he can't contain himself.
Man, that's good. There's just so much here. I mean, the barbecue sauce, the bacon, You definitely get the barbecue sauce. You most certainly get the smokiness of the bacon, and then the Worcestershire sauce is definitely coming through as well. I mean, it is like, these are some really bold flavors in this meatloaf.
Yeah, that sauce will be there and you'll be eating and then you'll get some of that sauce and it just...
Yeah, it's really bold. Exactly.
I love you.
I love the texture of it. The texture is very reminiscent of what we had
The other day.
The
You know, I think it's that cheese because
cheese.
both of these had cheese in them.
I think you're right. It's the cheese, the egg.
Yeah.
And then you use
Breadcrumbs,
breadcrumbs
yeah.
to hold together.
The guys cannot get over this one. Like, look at their plates. Yeah. Y'all, this is so good. That smoky flavor comes out in it.
You're gonna try this. I'm serious. This is really good.
Our fifth meatloaf recipe is a taco meatloaf, and I know y'all love this one. I get comments on this all the time about how much your family loves this. So if you've never tried taco meatloaf, here's your sign. I remember your tips, and you told me that using the stand mixer is great when you're making a meatloaf. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use my stand mixer to mix all the ingredients together so I don't have to use my hands. I'm really excited. It's kind of early, but meatloaf takes a while. So we're gonna preheat the oven to 350. In my mixer, I already have 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of crushed Doritos. Two eggs. I've got 1 can of Rotel. This is the Aldi brand Rotel. That's a lot of liquid in there. It doesn't say to drain it. I'm gonna drain a little bit. Okay, adding that in. I've got my onion that I diced. Either a pack of taco seasoning or 3 tablespoons of homemade. Said to use 4 ounces of corn. I'm using almost a cup of frozen corn. Then you need 1.5 cups of cheese. I've got half pepper jack, half cheddar. I think this is a little too much cheese maybe, so somebody will be happy to hear that. I'm sure she'll take care of that for me. She's sitting right over here next to me. Got a little left over, and let's start mixing. I'm so excited that I don't have to use my hands. Well, that was ridiculously easy. Thankful for that. Okay, let's put this in a loaf pan. I've got a meatloaf pan here. I got mine from Amazon. I will try and remember to link it below. It's nice because you can just lift it up and all of the fat and juices kind of go below it. But I always used to just use a loaf, just a regular loaf pan before I had this. The recipe says to make 2 small loaves with this, but we're just gonna do 1 large loaf. I normally do 2 pounds of meat here in this pan, so it should be perfectly fine. I might just have to bake it for a little bit longer. That's it. This is going in the oven at 350 for about an hour. It'll probably take closer to an hour and a half since I have a large loaf. So I set the timer for an hour. We'll check it at that point, but I'm guessing it'll be more like 90 minutes. So it's been an hour, and this is where we're at. We want it to get to 160. So I'm gonna put it in for another, we'll check it after another 20 to 30 minutes. Our meatloaf is done. I'm just gonna add a little extra cheese on top, and we'll pop it back in the oven just to let that melt down. So, little confession, when I was serving this up, I thought, oh my gosh, there's still raw pieces of meat in there. Nope, that's the Rotel. It is definitely up to temperature. We're good to go. So, you ready to do this?
Without further ado.
That's right.
Taco meatloaf.
Taco meatloaf.
That's what's for dinner.
That's right.
I mean, I have a feeling this is gonna be delicious. Oh yeah, smells like that good taco meat.
Cole is about to pass out. He's so happy.
This is amazing.
Mmm. Oh wow.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm so
Oh
excited.
man. First of all, it's spicy, and it's also
Not dry.
Not dry.
Excellent. So that was my fear. I was scared that I put too many. I don't know. I was just scared that it was going to come out a little dry. It's perfect.
Man, lots of flavor. That is really good.
I am so excited. Okay, I'm about to dig in. Let me dig in. I'll be right back. I have to tell you, my brain had a hard time comprehending this. It's delicious, number one. But my brain was like, wait, this is tacos. But no, it's meatloaf. Which one is it? It can't be both.
Yeah.
But, so you were saying...
Maybe a little enchilada sauce?
So meatloaf normally has like ketchup on top or some type of sauce on top. So if you put some red enchilada sauce on top, okay, I'm digging it.
Then we're swinging for the fences when we do that.
I don't know that term or that little saying, but
Isn't that baseball?
swinging for the fence, I guess. Is it? I don't know. I don't
makes
watch
sense,
baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is so delicious, Diana. Thank you for sharing this with us. Colt, does it rank up there with one of your favorite meatloafs ever?
It ranks.
Okay. He loves meatloaf and he's picky about it, so that's impressive.
So you've got to tell me, which meatloaf do you plan to make first? Or if you've ever tried any of these meatloaves, which one is your favorite? I feel like Stephen, Cole, and I probably all have different favorites. I think my favorite is the Chipotle glazed. I think Stephen's favorite are the mini meatloaves. And Cole's favorite, I don't know, his is a toss-up between the taco meatloaf and the barbecue meatloaf.
Heard my name. Something about a favorite.
What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Okay, so out of these meatloafs, which one's your favorite?
Taco meatloaf, barbecue meatloaf, Cracker Barrel meatloaf,
It's been a while since we've made it.
mini meatloaves,
The barbecue
Chipotle
bacon.
glazed meatloaf.
This is the barbecue bacon cheddar ones. Which one's your favorite?
That's hard. Yeah, I would say mini meatloaves are definitely up there.
Yeah.
All right, which one are you making tonight?
None of the above. Don't forget to go check out MaryRuth's products. There are so many to choose from, and if you use my code, you can save on either their website or on Amazon. You're going to save 20% on your purchase of any of their products. I can't wait to hear which products you try out. I highly recommend these probiotic gummies and that zinc and the multivitamin, the 40 plus for women. It's so good. Thank y'all for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.